from a distance and get real close. Just so that you can see that we're cutting through the trim. Make sure you got your pad. Nail them together. I'm just thinking, I'll just show them just a few seconds. Careful about it. Just learn how they're. Can just video it. Back up, zip it. Be a videographer for a little bit. Some nail right there. Alright guys, so we're going to trim this out once we get done with one bias, and so I need to cut my trim a second time to get a good tight fit. So I'm using a scrap piece of trim, then I use a chisel with a flat back to mark it good, and then we'll take it off and cut it one more time. We'll have a good tight fit to caulk when we get done. Alright guys, real quick, So what we did was just frame this up out of 2x4s, and then we took some of this, what is that? Luan. This is like a 2x4 sheets of Luan, because we're going to trim this out with 1x4s. And so once we trim it out and paint it, you're never going to be able to tell this isn't a 1/4 inch plywood or something. And then we just stapled that to the front. So our construction is a little bit beefy, but it wasn't very expensive. It's a lot cheaper or time-wise to do it this way than it would be to rip these down. So basically, we just built little panels. We built, this was a panel. We built is 14.5 to the inside here, and then this length here is a panel. This length here is a panel, and then this is a panel. So it's find my tape measure. Here it is. So it's 18 inches to the front edge. It is 17 inches tall. And right here, where there wasn't a panel, this 2x4 goes all the way to the floor, and then this one just sets here for support. And what I did to support it up on the front here is I just turned the 2x4 sideways in here, and it gives it a little bit of support. I did the same thing with these two supports. And we'll put 1/2 inch plywood on top, wrap it with foam, and put some fabric on it, and we'll trim the front out with 1x, paint it all, show you the finished product when we get.
What do you mean, where's the restaurant?
Shopping for fabric.
Where's the restaurant?
Fabric's $1.
Where's the restaurant? Yeah, the restaurant.
Roll Tide. So this is our fabric, $9 a yard.
Oh gosh.
Alright guys, so we got the trim here, and we 45 these corners just to make it a little cleaner looking. Also, you can see our corner here. Once we put, we're gonna put all of our trim on, and then we'll caulk this corner and look real clean. So we're gonna show you real quick kind of how we'll do this. We'll nail all this on, and then we'll take these pieces here, get them real tight and flush all the way around, and then we'll nail those on the corners. Then we'll come back with another piece on top here. Everything's falling apart. So that's kind of the look we're going for. Even though it's a big huge shadow in this corner we picked off, but you get an idea. And so we'll trim everything out like this.
Oh no, thank you.
We'll trim everything out like this. Go back and sand it, sand all of our edges smooth, caulk everything, and be done. Paint it.
Paint it up.
So guys, I picked up this little tool, it's 3-in-1 caulking tool. So I've got the tip of my caulking gun at 45 and make sure. Alright, so we laid down. I'm gonna look at a 3/16 radius and see what it looks like. And so take your little cardboard core, and it leaves a clean, it's going to be hard to tell on this GoPro, but I'm talking about a clean radius. So here I have a pretty large crack. So what I'm going to do is just take me a little sliver and put it in place. And we'll just caulk there. Take the excess, fill it in. Alright guys, we got all of our corners caulked. Got all of our cracks and nail holes filled in with spackling. And we spackled our 45s, just the corners, any rough edges, any spots that had some, some. And then before we paint, we'll come back and rub it. This stuff's pretty lightweight. It says no sanding, so we'll let it dry for 30 minutes, come back and rub it, get it lean loose, and then we'll paint. There's our finished corner after we caulked it, so it turned out pretty good. Got all of our paper down, got everything painted and taped off.
What is the paper?
How's it looking?
Good.
That covers a little better than the brush.
Yeah, it does. Hey, where are you going?
So here we're covering the cushions. This one has been covered. It's a bit stained. This one, we just got some fabric left over from some old outdoor cushions. We glued it, some spray glue, so the fabric would stay in place. You see, we let it overhang a little bit. It needs to go the other way. It needs to go along. And so I bought a lot of fabric. What about 2 yards?
Yeah, 2 yards.
So this is 2 yards of fabric, and this is kind of the DIY. I'd like to get us a little more on this end, and then we'll just fold it over, staple one side, and then cut this to length, and then pull it tight, staple it all the way around, and then we'll go back and put our plastic on. Daughter.
Is that that? What's that for?
So initially we went through, and you can see that I've got a little groove right here and a little hump, and so now we're just going through and tightening down these little humps so it all kind of looks even. And so we end up putting a stitch about every inch or so, or I mean a staple, which staples are cheap, so it'll just make it look
Cleaner.
a better finish.
Mama. Mama.
Here we're just on our plot. This is the thinnest plastic they had at Hobby Lobby, and so we just fold it over, just over the edge, and we're just going to staple it. And we're not really pulling this very tight.
It's just a protectant.
Yeah, just to protect it, so we're not getting it super tight because we don't want to wrinkle the fabric underneath it. So we got plenty here. We'll just staple this, staple that, and cut it off. And we got some extra. So. Got it all finished up. The kids have marked it up with their feet. But it's finished. It's looking good, guys. Got the clear plastic over the top. Keep kids from getting dirty.